Hi guys, looking at orchestration again today, picking up from the thing I was doing last time, and that was kind of slightly hidden under this rather arcane template of this 11-note pattern that I was using before. And today we're going to do something a lot more obvious and apparent, but what you have to remember is whether it's something quite simple that we're doing today or that rather, to say, arcane 11-note group that I did last time. Those things that we use are only templates to display and to develop these different concepts that I come here to share with you. So you'll remember though that the gist of it was that we were combining snare drum and hi-hat, and that we had 4 different permutations. Now whatever we do, that logic holds good in any 2-voice mix, any combination of 2 sound sources. And I'm going to illustrate that now. And today I've got the syncopation book open at page 27, and I'm using the first bar of the 4th line, which sounds like this. Obviously there's no sticking indicated because it's the syncopation book, for which doesn't have sticking patterns for almost all of it, and you could put any sticking you wanted to on that pattern, which is something for further consideration down the line. I'm just going to stay with a fairly basic interpretation of that rhythm, just basic singles and doubles. It really falls under the hands easily. So let's take that same logic from the last video and apply it again. But this time I'm going to put it between the snare drum and the small tom. So our first orchestration is this. Just like it was last time when I was doing the thing on the snare and the hats. So let's call that, both hands on the snare drum, let's call that, for all future reference, we're going to call that orchestration number 1. So orchestration number 2 is going to be arrived at simply by moving the left hand to the small tom. And last but not least, number 9. So whenever you're practicing any kind of drum set type stuff, instead of everything always being on the snare drum, why not just take a bit of time to see how these things feel if you play them through these different permutations of orchestrations. And what you're doing by doing that is you're enhancing your facility all across the drum set. Obviously there's much more to this than playing snare drum, small tom, floor tom, and you can do this on any size of drum set. And next time I'm going to talk about how this extrapolates further and why I like to think of it always as being permutations of 3 sound sources at any one time, which makes it really easy to digest and it doesn't overwhelm you with too much stuff to think about, not having to carry around this big kind of metaphorical rucksack full of knowledge every time you go to play. So have fun with that, just make it part of your daily practice routine. You know, instead of warming up always on the snare drum, warm up on the floor tom, the small tom, or 2-voice permutations, or switch between them. And that whole principle is explained in some detail in my book, which you can get from the website there. And I'll see you next time. Cheers for now.